up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great hump day. Tomorrow is Thirsty Thursday, and then, of course, Friday we have our preseason finale that Joe Milton, who had a touch pass, literally dropped the bomb, and touchdown pass, actually a great pass, probably his best pass all season. And then, of course, we had Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb doing his Odell Beckham impression, one-handed grab in the corner of the end zone. Let's be clear here. This season is going to come down to whether or not Dak Prescott's arm falls off, because I think we're going to have to be 30 points plus a game right now. I could be wrong. You never know. Maybe Schottenheimer is keeping everything at the vest, and all of a sudden everything is so much better than what we've seen so far. He's basically told us, we're going to do everything vanilla. We're not going to show a whole lot. We want to be surprising people when we come out, especially the Eagles, on that Thursday night opener. Now, I'm going to say that the Cowboys being so busy getting ready for the Netflix special, okay? And it seems like, I don't know, maybe it's me. I don't know how many episodes it is. I don't care. I'm not watching it. Everybody keeps saying, hey, did you? No. Listen, I'm tired of living in the past, okay? I get it. Maybe I missed a little bit more about the White House and everything else and stuff and all that. But I don't need to see that stuff. I need to live in now. And the now that I want to live in and talk about is making this team become one of the great teams like those. Now, here's the problem. Because Jerry Jones been so focused in on the Netflix special, and it's kind of diversion. Because here's the thing. Now, Diggs, who has his YouTube channel and his latest episode comes out, and he's saying he's hoping to be ready by week 2 or week 3, which is great news. He missed the first game, but hopefully he'll be ready for week 2 or 3. But I'll say he was ready for week 1 last year. How'd that work out? And the thing about being ready and being 100% are two different things. Because when you play football, if you can walk, then they can give you some Tanadol and your ass will be out on the field. That doesn't mean that you are going to be good to go. Doesn't mean that he's going to be ready, that he's going to be playing at an all-pro level. I'm just saying, caution you there. But it's now, as we sit here 2 weeks away, it's too late. It's too late to sign a Stephon Gilmore if you're thinking that we need a boost right now. Because, see, this is what the Cowboys do. And it drives me crazy is they're always late to the party. I remember being at the first preseason game with the Rams, and we had heard that the Cowboys made a trade for defensive line help of Jordan Phillips. And we exchanged, I think, 6th and 7th round picks or something like that in that trade. And it ended up being the dog couldn't hunt. The dog couldn't hunt. We also got Carl Lawson, who was sitting out all off season. Now, Carl Lawson, he had, I think, 4 sacks for us last year. He didn't play bad. But the thing is if a guy has been sitting on his couch all off season, and you bring him in 2 weeks before the season starts, he's got to get up to speed, NFL speed. And there's nothing like being in NFL shape other than practicing football. And this is where we're at the point of damage to Micah Parsons going into the season at this point. Tomorrow will be the 21st. The 21st is when we found out CeeDee Lamb was signed. CeeDee Lamb ended up getting ramped up, and they basically had to bring him on slowly but surely to get him up to speed. And CeeDee Lamb will be the first one to admit that it hurt him starting the season. And maybe it ended up leading to some of the injuries, nagging injuries that he had with the shoulder and things like that. But we're at the point now where time's running short to even get Micah Parsons ready for the first game. Now, Brian Schottenheimer says Micah Parsons will be there week 1. So the question will be is, when is he going to practice? Because, tomorrow probably will be a walkthrough since there's a game on Friday. And after that game, it's cut downs, and now it's a lot less people out there to practice, and it's getting ready for the Eagles. So you're running out of time for Micah Parsons. But being able to get anybody at this point that you're going to be able to plug in, the only way it's going to be somebody that helps is if you're making a trade for somebody who at least has been in a training camp and is actually in shape, and then you can coach them up to actually play. But again, the Cowboys with Jerry Jones are not a serious organization when it comes to winning. Winning is just one of those things that just kind of happens, if it happens. It's all about being a sideshow. I really, in a way, feel bad for Brian Schottenheimer because you've got a situation again where the ownership is hamstringing the coach. Now, at least they got him George Pickens. And, you look at this and say, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, and maybe Kayvon Turton and Jalen Tolbert and Ferguson, that's a really good group of guys to catch the football. That's a real good group of guys to catch the football. And the only way I'm going to say that the Cowboys are going to be successful this season is if Dak Prescott is breaking the Cowboy records. He's going to have to for us to really win. He's going to need to get 36 or more touchdown passes. He's going to need to get, that 36, he's going to need to get over 4,000 yards passing for this team to be where we need them to be. And it's one of those things that I really don't know. At some points, I feel like, with this offense, that the offense is in a better position than where it was last year. I don't think the running game is improved, but the wide receiver core has, and I think the offensive line may be in a better position than it was last year. I mean, remember, Zach Martin early on the season, you saw things that you never saw before. Zach Martin literally getting left in the dust and giving up a sack. Tyler Guyton never really got his feet underneath of him. And Terrence Steele didn't start playing well until we started running the football more. Towards the end of the season. Tyler Smith, of course, was all pro. But I'm not sure where the defense is. I'm so worried about this defensive line. Maybe the linebacking core, I think, is a lot better. Maybe the linebacking core is what will carry us through. But hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. And like in New Jack City, we all we got, man. We all we got. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. So, today was actually a really cool day. I got the first video actually for it on Joe Boo's day job. I went to, there's the Virginia Virginia Institute of Blacksmith. And they made me this beautiful hasp for this antique lock that I have for my storage building. And that was really cool because I've never seen really blacksmith shop in operation. And there's this really nice young lady who actually did almost all of the work for making this thing. Her name is her channel is Shenanigans. And she is incredible as far as blacksmithing and stuff. I mean, you see her just the technique tapping away. It was actually really cool to watch it. I've got more footage of it as they're going through and making the whole process. It was really cool. But tomorrow is actually a big day. I got to go change out some windows and fix the ceiling and stuff tomorrow, which is no problem and all that. But tomorrow, the Department of Historic Resources, this is the next step, okay? Last Thursday, we had the site visit where they came out, they took pictures and everything else, met with Aubrey, who is one of the people who works for the Department of Historic Resources. Tomorrow, they will be having a staff meeting, and they'll be presenting to the staff the argument for the red brick house being on the register. And it'll be one of three outcomes. No, we have more questions, or yes. If it is a yes, then it will be put onto the agenda for final approval at the state meeting in September. So it's a closed door meeting, or else I'd be there. So keep your fingers crossed in Red Brick House that we can take another step towards getting this put on the registry. I always say to you guys about telling the people that you love how much you love them and things. And one thing that I've always tried to figure out, Shannon Sharp is kind of slowly disappearing from the whole media thing, you know, since he just went crazy. And a lot of times when people get money and positions and things, they think rules don't apply to them anymore. And they get shot down. And that's what's happened with Shannon Sharp. But Shannon Sharp said that you writing your eulogy every day. And I honestly think about that. Because I always wonder what people will say when I'm gone. Or if they'll say anything at all. What is your legacy? And I hope, besides being a good father, and a good husband, and a YouTuber, I hope that this house and saving it will be that. And if it gets on the registry, I think that will definitely go a long ways to that. Remember, good people, tell the people you love how much you love them, and thank all of those that have helped you along the way. I thank all of you guys, and I love you too. Have a good night. And as far as the Cowboys go, they're going to be what they're going to be. And there is nothing that you or me can do about it. And so, all we can do is kick back and see what happens. I appreciate y'all. Peace.